Hey, this is Jonathan Ang, and these are my photos from Borderfield State Park. This is my friend James right here. He's from Australia, so being from a country that does not have any borders, he was the one that wanted to go down there and see what it was all about and see what it was like. And this photo right here is once we arrived at the parking lot at Borderfield State Park. This is the bullfighting ring, which is on the Mexican side of the border. And at this point right here, you're basically on top of the hill looking down on the beach, which you'll see in a few more photos. One of the interesting things about the park is that family and friends on either side of the border actually come to the park so that they can visit each other and they speak to each other through the fence. On the right there, you can see the monument to mark the boundary of the United States, and you can see that the fence is pretty much built around it. And on the monument it reads, "The destruction or displacement of this monument is a misdemeanor punishable by the United States or Mexico." Here's James taking it all in, just taking a peek at what's on the other side. This is just a little shot through the fence, just showing what's up the top of the hill above the beach. So here we are looking down at the beach from the hill. Just to get your bearings, the bullfighting ring is on your left. And yeah, there's these signs basically everywhere warning you that the water's contaminated and that you shouldn't swim in there. And on the United States side, there's definitely nobody swimming in the water right here, but as you can see, there's plenty of folks in Tijuana enjoying the beach. So as James and I made our way down the hill onto the beach, we're the only ones on the beach on the United States side. And on this little hill right here, there's just a lot of people hanging out, enjoying the mariachi band that was playing, and just waiting for friends and family to show up. Here's a closer shot of that same hillside, and you can just see the folks checking me out while I'm checking them out. So here's another one looking back up at the bullfighting ring, and you can see how close it is to the beach and everybody hanging out. On the left there, that's a shot from the hill looking down at the beach, and yeah, that's it. That's the international border that goes out onto the beach, and as you can see, it extends maybe 15 yards into the ocean. And this is really what James and I were curious about when we looked at the map. We just wanted to know, what exactly was there and how they would actually prevent people from passing across at the beach. One of the interesting things too about the park down here is just maybe half a mile inland, there's a lot of farms and horse farms and ranches. So as we were hanging out on the beach, this guy came down on his horse and he was basically leading like a horseback riding tour of the beach down there. This is looking south through the fence/border, and as you can see, people are just hanging out, enjoying the sun. As you can see in this shot, there's definitely a lot going on the beach in Tijuana. Quite the contrary on the US side. Like I said, we were the only people on the beach this whole time we were down there. It was pretty interesting to notice after time that people like just standing as close to the fence as they can, being near it, and it's like there was a magnetic quality about it that just draw people to it. So this guy on the left here, he was smoking a cigarette, and it's kind of funny because he's like ashing it in the United States but smoking it in Mexico. Kind of cool. The dude on the right, he just kind of crept through and just checking out the water and the sand on the United States. So if you couldn't tell, James was pretty fascinated and dumbfounded just by how this whole scene was working and everything. So here we are, just getting up close and personal, checking it out, talking to people, watching the action. This was pretty funny. James was telling this guy here, he's like, "Oh, come on, buddy, make a run for it. Come to the U.S." And the guy looks at him and he's like, "Dude, I'm from San Francisco. I'm down here on vacation." On the left, we can see just another person relaxing, using the fence as a little support while he smokes his cigarette. And on the right here, you can see the kids just slipping through the fence, and it was kind of funny. It was like a game. They would slip through and hang out on the United States side, and then Border Patrol would make a move from the hill or on the beach somewhere, and the kids would run back. So it's like a little game they play. This little girl and her brother here were pretty funny. This little girl, as you can see, she's coming through the fence and looking right at us. And she came over to us and she asked if we spoke Spanish. So we told her, yeah, we do a little bit. And she said, well, I speak English. And we said, yes, we know. And she said, but I have the blood of a Mexican. Here's that same little girl on the left, just looking out to the ocean. And it's kind of interesting because these reinforcements that they use on the fence, they create the shape of a cross, which is pretty interesting. And on the right here, you can see just looking through the fence and pretty rustic looking reinforcement, and the kids just playing in the short break. There's another little guy slipping through the fence, looking back. Probably had his mom and dad telling him not to go too far. So yeah, like I said, it was like a game for the little kids to kind of see how far they could get across before Border Patrol got too close and really scared them. You could see the little guy on the right just putting his toes through the fence and seeing if it's any different over here. The adults weren't too into trying to sneak through for fun, but as you can see, the little kids are, but the parents keep a close eye on them and make sure they don't go too far. Just some more little guys, little tykes, just playing around the fence, having a good time. So besides the mariachi band, the other sounds on the beach, other than the kids playing, was the ringing of the bells of the ice cream man. And on the left there, you could see is his cart that he wheeled down on the beach with his umbrella. And on the right there's Ice Cream Man, looking like a NASCAR driver. Here's James doing a little international purchasing and some free trade, I guess you could call it. And this right here is probably the reason that we got stopped on our way out of the park by Border Patrol. So as soon as that little ice cream exchange went down, this guy came flying out of nowhere on his quad and just kind of circled us and looked at what was going on and see exactly what we were exchanging. Here you see another one of our friends. James called this little guy out, give him a high five, and here he is marching over with a big smile on his face. Here's our buddy again, as he's walking out towards us, and then just as he's walking away, and gave a great little look back pose. So that's it for my first adventure to Borderfield State Park. But as I said, we were the only folks on the beach on the United States side besides the horseback riders. And at the top of the hill, the whole time we were down there, these guys were watching us. And there's also Border Patrol in the water on jet skis, and about 3 to 4 helicopters flying over the sloughs, which is just a little further north of where we were. And yeah, basically everything you do is being watched down there, and it's kind of strange. You almost feel like you're doing something wrong just by being there. On our way out of the park, we also got stopped at a checkpoint, which I'm sure was due to our ice cream purchase. So it's kind of funny just explaining to them how a guy from Australia and a guy from New Jersey end up at the southwesternmost corner of the United States together. I'd like to thank everyone for watching my video. I hope that my photos and my stories were able to make you feel like you were there with James and me. I want to say a big thank you to James for motivating me with your curiosity, and a thank you to De La for the background music.